Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of The Call Sheet. I'm Gabrielle Simone, and today on The Call Sheet we have the one and only Shay Mack. So thank you, first of all, so much for being here and taking your time out so we could come and hang out in your studio. First of all, Shay Mack has credits such as Queen Sugar, P Valley, If Loving You Was Wrong, Doom Patrol, and you run your own business within the acting industry. So first of all, kudos to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are really doing it.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of meeting you maybe 3 or 4 years ago, just briefly at a networking event. But I've heard so many great things about your business, and I just wanted to really highlight that because I think that's such a dope concept. Will you explain to everyone what your business is?
So my business is called Audition with Shay Mack. A lot of people are just like Shay Mack Auditions or Shay Mack, but it's called Audition with Shay Mack. No S, Audition with Shay Mack. I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, so nowadays, we have to do the self-taping for auditions and everything like that. So yeah, my business is simply filming actors, being their reader, editing it, sending it in, and waiting to get booked.
I love it. So how did you come up with the concept?
Well, I mean, it's something that's been out there.
Okay.
And as an actor too, at one point, I went to someone to self-tape.
Okay.
And literally once. And was like, wait a minute. I could do this myself.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So it was a one-time thing. And you were
Yeah,
like,
I went to
get my own
tape
setup.
to someone. I went to someone to tape, and I was like, okay. I just drove all the way up here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I could do this myself. I have all the equipment. I was at the time coaching actors and doing classes and stuff like that. So I'm like, I have all this equipment. I was coming from theater.
Okay.
To film and television. So there was a lot of stuff I didn't know at first. And so when I was hip to the game, I was like, wait a minute, I have all this equipment at home. This is all we have to do?
Right.
Oh, okay. And of course we still was having in-person auditions around that time too. Some in-person auditions. But when I went to go self-tape with someone and I was like, okay, basically this is the setup, this is what you got to do. I've already been coaching people and stuff like that.
Right.
So I started just, taping myself and maybe having friends come, that sort of thing. And then word of mouth started to spread. And then over time, I started out thinking like 2015.
Okay. So you've been in almost 10 years now.
Yeah. So it's been, ooh. My business getting older, but I'm not. No. Yeah, so I started back then, and just over time, it just started, growing, getting bigger, word of mouth, stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's how I heard about you. It was literally, hey, it's this lady. She'll do all your self-tapes. You can just pull up, and it's very easy to book. And I'm like, oh, that's such a cool concept.
Right.
So your background, you said, is theater. You got your degree from Spelman?
Yes.
Was that in theater?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So how was it getting an actual theater degree?
It was cool. I always say like I really don't have like regrets, but sometimes I wish I was a little more hands-on in the theater department at Spelman, like on stage.
Okay.
But I think being behind the scenes is what really kind of pushed me to where I am today, because back then I was kind of like learning behind the scenes stuff like stage managing, lights, sound,
technical side.
directing, and all of that kind of stuff. So that I learned all of that. Of course, I knew the acting part about it, but I didn't have much acting experience except for like during class or something like that. But not doing productions at Spelman, which I kind of miss a little bit. But for what I did get and what I did learn and carry with me, I think that's what put me to where I am now, where I started to be. And it was more so directing, because right after I left Spelman, I started directing stage plays in Atlanta, like community theater, stuff like that. So I was directing all, like, I remember I made a post like, anybody, you're a writer out there, you need a director for your stage play, And I started doing that like really, really heavy. And then I started seeing my peers like, on red carpets and doing TV and film. And I'm like, what's going on over there? And that's what got me into
So
the
that's what bridged you over into
film and TV. I got a agent myself, and then of course started my acting career.
So let's speak about that. How did you get your agent?
I got my agent through a referral. Sharmalee Hain. She was my coach and actually somebody who I was working with back in the day doing classes, summer camps for kids, classes for adults, and we always worked together with her company, just helping actors out throughout Atlanta, coaching them, teaching them stuff like that. And I was interested in now moving on to that side of the industry, and she hooked me up with her agent, and she brought me on and
Started.
yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
So networking, I've heard that time. That's like the connection is the networking and who you know and who's in your network.
Yes, definitely.
So transitioning over from theater to film and television, what was the hardest part for you?
I don't think it was really difficult for me. I think the more difficult part was leaving theater, going to film, and going back to theater, because you get so used to the film and the cameras and everything, and we go to theater, it's like, where's your voice?
Yeah.
Your body, all that kind of stuff. It's a little different.
It's not, yeah, it's live. You know, like, yeah.
When I started with the film, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's all we have to do. Like I was like, wow, this is. I mean, it's. I won't say that it's just easy because it's not, but just the transition over, it was. I mean, it was smooth.
Good.
Smooth transition. Yeah.
Okay, I love to hear that because I did theater in high school, which I really loved. But once I started doing film, I was like, oh, I love this anymore.
Right.
But I love to still watch live theater. I recently saw The Preacher's Wife at the Alliance Theater. It was phenomenal. And it's something
Is it still here now?
No, they just closed the show.
Oh, okay. I think I saw the
the
promotion for it.
Yeah, and it was really, really good. And I like, COVID kind of took that away from us for a while, so it was nice to see them back on stage.
Did it make you get bit by the bug a little bit? Miss it?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It's like I want to be out there. It's just so many moving parts with acting.
Yeah.
So.
Especially theater. Theater takes up a lot of time.
It does, like the rehorsals, and the dress rehearsals, and
I'm working on a play right now. I'm directing for, how can I explain this? Kind of like I don't want to say like an after school program, special type thing, but it's more so like for kids and gun awareness and school violence and stuff like that. So it definitely has a message to it, type of thing. So we actually just had our first rehearsal on Sunday.
Okay.
It's gonna be at the Theatrical Outfit on August 17th.
Where's that at?
Theatrical Outfit is downtown Atlanta, near the Rialto. Yeah. That area, I can't think what street that is.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Downtown.
So what? How'd you come up with like the concept and then wanting to do this project?
Well, actually, this is not my project. I'm not producing
just
it. I'm directing it.
Okay.
Yes. It's a young lady by the name of Sabrine. She has a production company and she's putting it on. So she's done it before, but now she wants to do it definitely on a bigger scale. And she brought in a director and we brought in some great actors, great production team. So it's gonna be good.
So are they targeting like school age kids? Or are they like selling tickets? Is it?
Yes, school age kids, I believe like middle school, high school kids. And this run, I believe, is going to be a free show.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So it's free for the community.
Yes.
Okay. I'll definitely have to get the information so we can link all of that so people.
Oh
can
yes,
come
definitely.
out and see
Yes.
it. And when is it supposed to?
August 17th. August 17th.
So in a few weeks. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So outside of directing, what do you see the next wave of acting? Because it's in a weird spot right now, film and television.
Yeah.
What do you think is coming? Like, what's your predictions?
I don't know. My predictions is like the most positive. Like,
Okay.
oh, it's gonna pick back up and be booming, and it's gonna be like overwhelming surplus of auditions and projects and stuff coming out. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm trying to predict and put out there in the atmosphere. So whenever I don't want to, I guess, date this podcast, but
It's okay.
you know what I see going right now, you know, as far as their signing their contract, I know this AI stuff is like really serious. You know, it was for the writers, of course, for the actors, the directors. I don't know if how much it affects them, but you know, as far as you know, our set designers, lighting, sound, wardrobe, just everybody, you know, that's their job.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I get it. I understand what the time that it's taken, but in the meantime, you know, we're sitting over here like, oh.
Yeah. So in the kind of the lulls or the downtimes when it's not a bunch of auditions available, what are you doing to still feed yourself creatively?
Well, my business.
Okay.
You know, for one, and I always tell people in times, especially in times like this, to have like a hobby or something that you just, you know, like to do that can take your mind off of this stuff, because you can really, really get like engrossed in it, and it could be, you know, it can mess with your brain a little bit.
Right.
You know, I've had some actors, and they're just kind of like, I think I'm gonna just quit it, or you know, I'm like, no, stay strong, do something else. Like, you know, in the meantime, just to kind of, you know, keep yourself active, you know, keep your brain working or something. But you know, for me, it's boxing and working out, which I love.
That's good.
I know sometimes people might get tired of me posting my boxing videos. I don't care. I don't care how I look either. I just know that I'm having fun, and I'm enjoying it, and it takes my brain, you know, off of this. I'm not, you know, thinking about scripts or not working or getting a check avail and not hearing nothing back. You know, stuff like that. I'm like, taking it out on the bag. I'm taking it out on the bag. But you know, just something just to kind of just, you know, find your own joy.
Right.
Basically.
Outside of the acting world.
Yeah.
So how is it working on set with Tyler Perry? How's his productions?
It's cool for me. I've worked with him 3 times.
Okay.
It's cool. It's fast. It's quick. I know everybody always says
I've heard
it, but when you're there, you're like, that's it.
Fast,
So come ready. I always tell people, come ready.
Right.
Come ready. I think what helps too is like coming from theater, being quick on your feet, improv skills and stuff like that. That really helps work with him, especially like if you're coming in as a day player, you know, you have a few lines or maybe a few scenes or something like that. You get about 1 or 2 chances to film your scene, so you gotta really look at it like, okay,
this is it.
This is it.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I just wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for watching The Call Sheet. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and leave your comment. What's the best part of this episode that you like? Be sure to follow us on Fanbase, on Facebook, and on Instagram at The Call Sheet Podcast. We'll be putting up some behind the scenes clips and telling you what's coming up next. If you have any questions around the acting industry here in Atlanta, feel free to email me at thecallsheetpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, back to the episode.
This is it. The audience is here. Curtains open. Lights up. Action. You know, and really kill it. The last time I worked with him, I got a couple more takes because I was improvising, and he was cracking up and he liked it. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're gonna shoot that one more time. Do what you just did again. And I'm like, okay. So I like when you're on set and they kind of directors give you free reign to kind of, you know, do what you want to do, bring it, you know, as long as it makes sense or whatever. But and have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
And they have good food. I'm a
craft
tourist,
service
so I'm gonna bring up some food. Shout out to all my tourists. The chocolate chip cookies, baby.
So you just over there crafty.
Yeah, like do you mind bringing me 2 I mean, if you could grab three, grab three.
That's good.
Yeah, Tyler Perry Studios. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay, good. I've heard such good things about it. I've not had the opportunity to work on one of those productions, but hopefully.
I like that he has. I know he has trailers too sometimes, but I like that he has the dressing rooms. Just because it's a bigger space and you can do this. Unless you got one of those roles where you got the bigger. Sure, I heard one of the actors from the last movie he did. I cannot think of the guy's name, but he was like he had a big old trailer, had a tub and different level floors and stuff like that. I was like, he was. That was nice.
Okay. Top of the call sheet.
That's when you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
When you 87, Yay.
So how is it like when you start to speak about mental health, is it something that really takes a toll on you, or you're so far in the game now it rolls off your shoulders, like as far as your mental space
when it comes to this industry?
Yeah.
At this point, I think I'm personally at the point where I do kind of accept it for what it is, and like people say, always trust the process. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay, we already know what's gonna happen. We already know you're gonna either get a no or yes. Yeah. All you can do is your best, and I do feel like it is about. I was just talking to somebody about this, winning over the casting director. You do a great audition, you send it in, and casting. Okay, we've been watching Shay for a long time. We see, her auditions elevating, or are they saying, "Oh, Shay's auditions look like they," you know what I mean? So you kind of want to stay in good graces with the casting directors because they're the ones who are gonna ultimately decide, who gets sent up to producers or the showrunner or the director or whoever. So my thing is just when you do your audition, put your all into it. Do your work, do your research, do what you have to do. Because I know a lot of people come in here, and I'm work with actors every day, and I see the difference between the people who are booking are the ones who come in here and they're ready, and the people who are like, Shay, I don't know what's wrong. Why am I not? Right. And I'm like, first of all, you got
I wanted to talk
3
about
lines.
That too. Yeah.
You got 3 lines and you don't even know them. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's the difference between the person who came in knowing their stuff, ready to go and taking it seriously. Yes, that's why they book
all the time.
Now, sometimes it's something random where, you might get booked just off a look. And they like, well, we'll just work with him when he get on set.
Right. So when people come into your business and you can tell the distinction between the ones that consistently book and the ones that don't do so well, like, do you give them feedback in the moment? Do you coach them?
Yes, because I when I'm self-taping, I also coach now. If somebody's kind of like giving me the whole, this is what I want to do type thing, then I'm like, you let me know when you're ready. I'm not, this is your audition, however you want it to go. I have no problem with that at all. But I can't be the type of reader that kind of sits back or the self-taping service that just lets you turn in any old thing. Right. So I'm like, I gotta say something.
I love that. I love that you have their best interests at heart. Not just like a client, but I want to see you win.
Right. So I'm like, what if well, maybe we do 2 takes. Right. Like we'll do your idea and I got an idea that I think you might like, or something like that. Unless it's somebody who I, know and I'm familiar with. I'm like, no,
that ain't it. Try that again.
No, that was weird. And what was you doing with your face? Something like that. But, it's just like, hey, how about we try this or think about, well, how is your character actually feeling in this moment? Because if I'm saying X, Y, and Z, it seems like you should be reacting, like this and way. You know what I mean? So it's all a part of like listening, knowing the story, responding naturally. And sometimes people can't do that. And that just shows the people who are, taking classes, taking it seriously, trying to, perfect their craft. And then the people who are just like, I'm trying to be on TV.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't need all of that. You know, I've heard that too. Like, I don't need all of that.
So you've heard actors say, I don't need the training, I don't need the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So
I
how
was
do you
like-
feel about training? Do you train on a regular basis?
Yeah, well, now, not so much. When I'm, busy doing this, a lot of times I'm just kind of like this. I use it as my training. So
Yeah.
I'm getting like,
You get to work on it.
yeah. So
on a daily
there's
basis.
times where I'm like, okay, I got like 10 clients, right? So that's probably 10 different scripts unless somebody's coming doing the same role or whatever. And if they are doing the same role and I'm, being the reader for the other roles, then it gives me a chance to work on that other role. And I'm just like, okay, so, you might not be cast for this character, but let's just say, let's put you in the world of that,
Right.
that moment. So I kind of get my practice in like that. So, I mean, I do it all day, every day anyway.
So you're in it. That's a benefit of
Yeah.
you running your business and
Yeah.
and being an actor.
Yeah, it's crazy though because the time is when it's like when it is really busy.
Yeah.
And I'm like every day back to back
Right.
clients. It's in my dreams.
Really?
Yes,
Like
it's-
you hear the script like
Yes,
in your drink?
I'm in the. It's in my dreams. That's when I'm like, okay. So it's
Yeah.
crazy because I used to have when I first started. I was like 24 hours. I was loving it. I'm open all the time. Just schedule with me in advance. I'm 24 hours. We self taping, baby, all day, every day. I was like really, really in it. Now to the point I'm like, okay. We're going to go from 9 to 9 and close on Sundays. I'm this close to doing 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting
that's
older
a
now. I'm like, this
lot.
too much. But no, I love it though. I still love
Okay.
it. I tell everybody because sometimes people are like, oh, I want to do it. I'm not like a hater or nothing like that. Sometimes people be like, I'm like, no, if you want to start a self-taping service, I'll help you. I'll show you,
Yeah,
what
how
to
to
do.
get
It's not all
started.
about people who are going to come to me, going to come to me. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
I'm not tripping on that. But you have to love it. I know people who try and they're like, Shay, I don't see how you do this.
Yeah.
People, I was like, I don't know either. It's just, I don't know where it came from. I just,
That's great though, because
Yeah.
it feels like you're in your purpose as
Right.
an actor and the entrepreneurial side, which is great. So yeah, I'm happy for you. Like when I've seen your growth, through Instagram and everything, and I love when you post that an actor books. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I know, me too.
Like,
I be so mad on the actors who, like tell me later, like, or like I'm watching something and I see them, like, why you didn't tell me
you
that?
booked it.
So some actors are like, no, I don't want you to post me, or because their scene might get cut, or I'm like, oh,
But you booked
it.
and you're on set, and whether or not it ends up being on the cutting room floor, you're there.
Right, you booked
you're,
it.
You're acting.
Sometimes scenes get cut.
Yeah.
You be like, I remember I was watching the Queen Sugar. I did the Queen Sugar and I was like, Mom, watch it. And my mom was like, no, I watched it too. I didn't see you. I'm like, well, let me rewind it. I was like, I saw my name in the credits.
But yeah. But I mean,
See, you wasn't there.
yeah, it's a part. It's a part of
but
it.
hey, I booked it and I'm still getting residual checks for it. So I'll take it.
Exactly, yeah.
But what
So
can
for
you do?
you, what is the beauty in acting? Like when you think of it, like what's the most beautiful part about acting for you?
The most beautiful part. When people ask me like the number one, what's your number one? I'm always like, choose one thing. I think the most beautiful part of it for me is just being able to exude my creativity. A lot of times I don't know how other actors are, and people do not believe me when I say this. I'm really shy. I am a
lot of
shy
actors
person.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it takes me a minute, and I'm a Taurus, so a lot of times we're just like, people might think I'm mean. I'm not mean. I'm just, I don't know.
Reserved.
I'm shy. I'm
to
reserved.
yourself, yeah.
And so, but when you're acting, and once that the camera comes on and it's like action, now you can be. You know what I mean? And there's no. I mean, you might think about like judgment in the sense of like, oh, well, did I do that okay? Was it, you know, whatever. But other than that, the beauty is being able to leave my regular self
Yeah.
right there, like sit down right there, shy girl. Let me work. You know what I mean? So that's how it is for me. Like that's the beauty in it for me.
It's getting to just
Have fun and be
outside of
free
your-
and work in your God-given gifts. You know, a lot of times, you know, we might doubt ourselves or might think that our idea might be, I don't know, stupid or not well received or whatever. But, you know, this is the time that you can do something and you're like, no, I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great at what I do. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When I do it. So that's a beauty for me. Then I go back to,
Being shy.
how was that? Oh my God, it was so, you know?
Yeah. But I think every actor critiques themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
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 So, can you speak about your experience on P Valley and working under the Katori Hall production?
P Valley was cool. I had a short scene on P Valley. I'm trying to think, I wasn't there that long. Was I there that long? I don't remember. It was a while ago, but it was a cool set. Tasha Smith was directing, and I was in the scene with Brandy played Mercedes, which was cool because I tape her. And it was like, oh, we're gonna be in the scene together.
That's
so it was
cool,
fun.
yeah.
So she was really cool on set and really helpful. Because there was a part where I was like, when am I supposed to come in? Like, was my cue? And she was like, all right, Shay, I'm gonna go like that, you know. And then you walk in, I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of times, you know, when we go on set as day players, you know, sometimes you get directors or assistant directors where they're like really hands on. They're like, okay, you know, this is what you want to do. We're going to do a rehearsal where you're included, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you go on sets where they're just kind of like action and you're like, oh, shoot.
You're trying to figure out where to fit
Should
in.
I just do what I did in my audition? Do I walk in? I got to make a choice. So you just kind of, you know, some actors might, you know, crumble because they're just like, no one's telling me anything, blah, blah, blah. And then you have some who's just like, I'm about to just do whatever I'm about to do. And that's how I've gotten, because it's crazy because my very, very first booking was Tyler Perry, For Better or Worse.
Okay.
And that was with still Tasha Smith, Coco Brown, and I forget the other lady's name.
Was Tasha Smith directing that one?
She was in it.
She was in it. Oh, okay.
And I didn't tell them that this was my first time on set. First, but I mean, I was an extra in something back in the day, but I've never been on, you know, a set before. Never. And we didn't do a rehearsal or anything. It was just like
roll camera
action. And I was like, girl, you better just go out there. You better. And on that one, I was a guest star. So I had 2 little chunky scenes. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm about to do, but I'm about to just make a choice and do something. And I did. And then that's when Tyler came out. And he was like, okay, we're going to do that scene again. And then he changed all the lines. Right. And so I was sitting there like.
So what you rehearsed.
The lines, the script that I had. He was like, we're going to change that up. I want you to say this, blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting here like.
That would make me a nervous wreck.
I'm too busy going, oh my God, Tyler Perry is so tall. Like. I didn't know you were that tall. And he's like, action. I'm like,
oh, okay.
What he say?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you know, I got my game face on, so I'm like, and I saw Tasha looking at me like, what you about to do? And so I go out the door, I come in, and I do my thing, and that's the scene he kept and put on TV. And I just put my own little, I was like, I don't remember what he said, but I'm going to say something close to it and try to make it make sense. So luckily we all float with each other. It was definitely a improv scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool experience.
Yeah. So I tell I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go
but
ahead.
I tell actors out there, like, be so prepared so that if a director or, you know, something does change, you know what I mean, that you can just kind of jump in it and flow with it, because you just never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But you got to be prepared, and you got to have that confidence, because if you do, like you said, if you do be like,
yeah,
you know,
crumble in the
that's
moment.
it. And you know, they might just be like,
Get out. Go ahead. You can leave.
security, security, get her out of here. The hell was that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just kind of, got to be prepared and stay on your A game, because it can happen.
Right.
Especially if you work with Tyler Perry, it can happen, because he'll change up stuff real quick. Like, you be in the middle of the scene, he might yell something at you. You like, you talking to me?
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, and he say a line, you're like, oh, okay, well, we got a whole nother conversation going.
So
and you got to stay in it.
So you would suggest 2 actors get in an improv class?
Improv class
training.
would be good. Yeah, improv class. If especially for the actors who like, I never did stage, I never did theater, definitely an improv class will help you just stay fresh on your toes, because I mean you never know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, or you might be on set with somebody. I did a film recently, and they weren't staying like right on the script, like they were like changed the lines up a little bit, and it's kind of like what I gotta say don't the actors.
Okay.
And so I'm like, that's not your line, because I gotta say this and they gotta match that. So now I'm thinking in my head, now I gotta switch what I have to say, to match what you say, and just wait till they yell cut, and then we do it again. If the director likes it, the director likes it. But when you're in the midst of the scene, just kind of, and this is just for me, everybody's different. Somebody might be like, no, cut, that's not his line, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But for me, I'm gonna just flow with the scene and stay in character and wait for them to say cut, and then are we keeping that, or are we gonna get the script supervisor in here to fix it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. But
yeah, because I've experienced that. Like, some directors want like spot on word, word for word, and then some will let you kind of deviate a little bit. As long as it makes sense.
Yeah, I remember I was on Doom Patrol, and my line was they're missing two.
They're
missing two. But I kept saying, they're both missing. And
they weren't having it.
The script supervisor was like, cause she was like, Shay, you're saying, I'm like, what? I am? It's crazy. Like, I didn't even feel myself say that. So we taking it back, it's like, action. And I'm like, they're both missing. And I said both so hard. I looked over at the lady, I was like, I heard it. I see it. I don't know why I'm saying both. So finally I'm like, yeah, they're missing too. But I'm like, why do I keep saying both? But some sets they're like, we see right here, you like so, and some of them they don't trip.
That's a good story. Because I know you can get so in your like character and in your acting bag that what you think should be said naturally is not, matching up with the script.
Yeah. And it happens, especially if you get like wrapped up in the moment. You know what you're talking about and what's at stake here. Yeah. But you start saying what you would say. You know what I mean? You're like, wait a minute, hold on. It's like, okay, wait, what was it again? You pulling on your sides, like, oh yeah, that was a
okay. So what upcoming projects do you have like in the works? Are you working on anything? Like personally, or
the play? We're still in rehearsal for it right now. Also, a movie that is coming out that I'm playing a little gangster in, like shoot 'em up, bang bang, ba ba ba.
Okay. What's the
called
name of the
Allure? I'm not sure where it's gonna be.
Okay, you're not sure what platform yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's BET Plus or one of those streaming platforms, but that is something that I just finished working on. And then what else did I do recently?
Work, run your business. I know. And then
I feel like I just worked on another Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, which I don't know when that's dropping. I know Divorce in the Black just dropped, the film. Beauty in Black is a TV series that I think is gonna be on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so dope. So I need you to give some like words of wisdom or some advice to new actors that are just starting in the industry, particularly here in Atlanta. What are some pieces of advice or some words of wisdom that you could give them starting out?
Well, here in Atlanta, make sure you're not paying for what's the agencies?
Casting agency.
Make sure you're not paying thousands of dollars to get with an agency. First of all, I don't know what that agency name is now, but they keep changing it. But no, really, on a serious note, if you want to get into acting and if you're serious about it, you have to study. You gotta study. You know what I mean? Even if you feel like, yeah, I'm a natural. I got this. I'm a natural. You can be a natural, but there's a lot that goes along with it. You know, working with other people,
Right.
Working with directors, being on set. How do you feel when that camera cuts on? You know what I mean? Memorization skills,
Right.
blocking your body. Is what you're saying the tone matching your facial expression? Is it matching your body language? The business, learn the business of
business
acting.
side,
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who hit me up all the time and they're like, oh, Shay, what's this or what's that or what does this mean, and you know, all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, like,
So
yeah,
really study the whole.
yeah, because we are our
Not just the
business, you
acting,
know what I mean?
right.
So it's like you have to know the business of acting, and especially now in film and television, we have to self-tape to send it in. I know sometimes some of the breakdowns I've been seeing have been saying that they're taking limited amount of people, like
Okay.
on Zoom or something like that, where they might
Okay.
do some in-persons, but it's rare.
Right.
So like self-taping is what everyone has to do. So learn how to self-tape. Like the lighting, the sound, your backdrop, your background, all of that plays a part. Cause some casting directors are like, nope, next.
Yeah.
Why am I
Especially
seeing
when
your
they get
kitchen?
hundreds of submissions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna knock you right out. So you learning your lines and you're doing this audition and you're all happy and you send it in, but they're like, okay, first of all, it's dark, I can't see you.
Yeah.
The camera is too high or too low and we're looking up at you. They're not gonna even watch it. You just wasted your time.
Right.
You sent that in and they watched the first 3 seconds, was like, nope.
Yeah.
Didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to a professional self-taping service and you're doing it at home, learn how to do a real self-tape. And you don't need a super expensive camera. A lot of people use their cell phones.
Right.
Which works as well. But good lighting, good sound, a solid color background, not doing too much with props and stuff like that. If you don't know how to use them.
Right. Right.
So you have to learn how to do all of this stuff. And I know a lot of people are being trained differently as well too, because I know some people say that when you're doing your self-tape, you can't walk on and off screen.
Oh. Okay.
I booked several times walking on and off screen.
Right.
But then you have some, I don't know if it's the casting director or if it's the people who's coaching saying this. I don't know. But wearing certain things, I've booked wearing a white t-shirt.
It just depends on the preference.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just it's the preference, it's the random. But I think a lot of times casting director is just looking at your skill, the audition.
Because they can change up the shirts and the hair and
I talked to Tara Feldstein Paris Casting, and I told her, because we were in person and I have these braids, so I was like, Tara, how would y'all feel if I'm doing this audition but my one braid is right here? Because if one braid is out of place, I'm like, I gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Look at this one braid just sitting on my shoulder. That is so distracting. And she was like, Shay, if we're looking at that braid, that means we're not paying attention to your audition. And I was like, okay. But I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
But she was like, and this is just her, she was like, I don't look at your hair or your clothes, your
She's
wardrobe.
just looking at you, your skill, and how well you're delivering the lines.
You just gotta make it make sense. A lot of casting directors say that. Like, I mean, if you're auditioning for a pastor, it's like, I mean, having on a white tee and a baseball cap.
Right.
It don't
even,
match.
Yeah, it doesn't
you know what I
even
mean?
align. Yeah.
So like if you can just get as close as possible without overthinking it, or some actors I get though, they coming in the full shebang. Hey,
if it helps
that's what you want to do,
yeah.
do it. I don't be doing. But if that helps, so a lot of people say it helps me get in character, or like women who come in and they're doing the audition in their heels, and I'm like, Ja, you good? I got on slides. I'll put on the heels for the full body or something like that. But you know, sometimes they're like, no, I just want to feel it. I want to be in the moment.
In it,
And I guess it does help because it would change the way that you sit and hold yourself.
Right.
So I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But you know, to each his own. You know, however that works. But you definitely got to learn the business of acting. Learn how to self-tape. You have to learn how to self-tape at this point because that's what we're doing. And you got to be cool with it, you know, because a lot of times too, casting, I'm not a casting director, but I've been doing this for so long. Like, I can look at a self-tape. I can look at right here and see like, okay, you just overly desperate. You're not even thinking about this character. You just thinking, I got to book this.
Yeah.
I got bills.
Yeah, and the desperation reads on
the desperation easily. Definitely reads on when you're not connected, you know, you don't know what's going on. All that reads, no matter how you feel you're doing. I'm like, it doesn't look like that. If we put this on mute, we don't know what this character is going through right now. You know what I mean? So kind of learn how to do that. And you just kind of got to emote through that camera and have the casting director on the other side like, you know what I mean? You gotta bring them in. And I think a lot of that also goes with where you're self-taping because you do have to have a good reader.
Okay.
Good reader because a lot of times, and this gets me. I hear a lot of actors talking about. Now I'm starting to ramble. If I'm talking
okay, keep going.
Now I'm venting. So a lot of times now, you know, I hear actors who are like, you know, oh, I went to this self-taping service, I went to this company or whatever, and the reader just really gave nothing. And I just feel like, as an actor, a fellow actor, you know what you need from the person on the other side of that camera. Why not be that person, you know, for them? Like, I know sometimes I have to pull back a little bit because I might be doing too much.
Right.
But some of my clients are like, no, give it to me, I need it. And some clients are just kind of like, Shay, I'm just like, okay, my bad. I was in. You know what I mean? Shoot, I'm getting my practice in too.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like having a good reader and a comfortable working environment, you know, is what's going to help your audition as well too. Because as actors, we got to be in a certain headspace.
Right.
So if you're going into an audition and, you know, the self-taping service you're at, they're like, oh yeah, so yeah, you got 15 minutes. That's gonna be such and such, and as we talk, it's gonna be, you know, so it's like, okay, wait a minute, I don't want to sit here thinking about how much I'm paying. Can we just do the scene?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to be in a certain headspace. So I think that also affects your self-tape. And I'm not taking away from no self-taping services. I'm just saying, what I get from actors.
Yeah, and you get it because you are a working actor.
Yeah.
So you understand both sides. And yeah, I think it helps. Of course. And you're not you're not operating off of, let me just get this money. You're operating off of, this is the craft and I want you to deliver the best audition possible.
And take it seriously. Yeah. But some of my clients, y'all know who y'all are. I'm not going to say any name. I'm like, I got to pull back on because I'm like, wait a minute. Now I feel like I'm doing the work here. Right. You know, I'm like, no, what do you feel is going on in this script? What are your choices in this script? What is happening? I'm just going to be the reader.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes the director in me comes out and I'm just like, ooh, I know how we could set this scene up.
Right.
This is going to be great when you come in, you know, do this, have this before a moment, you know, whatever, blah, 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 because I could see it.
Yeah.
And then actors are like, all right. You know, just tell me what to do. But at the same time, I want the actor to also be a thinking actor to say, okay, this is the decision that I made that I came up with, not just Shay told me to do it like this.
Right.
Even though my people be booking, you know.
Because you got the technical skills as a director, you're an actor, so they feel comfortable in following your direction. So,
yeah. I love it though. I love it. I just love to see them, all of us, just like win. It's like whenever, you know, especially when someone hasn't booked ever or hasn't booked in a while and they're like, I got one. I just be like,
yes, it feels good.
See, I told you it was coming.
So how can people connect with you? Like if they want to, you know,
like social media?
Yeah, what's your social media?
ShayMack.official on Instagram. There is an audition _ with Shay Mack. That's not me. I am locked out of that page. I cannot get into it.
Okay.
So if you're following it, unfollow it. Some people, I think my mom's still following. Unfollow that page. I can't get into it no more. But ShayMack.official is my page. If you are trying to book a self-tape, the link is right on the page. Same thing on Facebook, Shay Mack, ShayMack. Or you can just type it in your browser, auditionwithshaymack.com.
Perfect. That's beautiful. Thank you again. This is wonderful. I love this conversation. Just leave us with, I don't know, a minute of what you want for yourself personally in the next 3 to 5 years. What's Shay Mack want?
Well, we can start with being alive and healthy.
All right, alive, well, okay.
Next 3 to 5 years, I'm definitely gonna be working consistently. Business will be back up booming. Now I tell everybody, I'm like, when I start working, I ain't self-taping no more.
I know that's right.
So definitely growth and elevation for me.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I plan on having you on the call sheet again, just to see your growth. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So everybody, this is Shay Mack. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Follow Shay Mack on Instagram and Facebook. And if you are in the Atlanta area and you're ready to self-tape, make sure you hit her up. She's going to get you right and, you know, make sure all your angles right so that you can book. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. This has been the call sheet.
P.S. If you're not in Atlanta, I also do Zoom sessions.
What? So Shay Mack has you covered on all bases. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Zoom or FaceTime, either one.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.